You know, in the world of solo leveling, there are these moments that just change everything. Today, we're diving into one of the absolute biggest, the Jeju Island raid. And let me tell you, this wasn't just another battle. This was basically an extinction-level event where humanity's strongest were getting crushed, and a brand new legend was forged right in the middle of all that chaos.
Yeah, that one quote, it tells you everything you need to know. This wasn't a tough fight. It was a straight-up massacre. We're talking about the world's most powerful hunters, the S ranks, getting swatted away like flies by one single monster, the Ant King. Japan's top team, completely wiped out. Korea's team was about to be next. Hope wasn't just fading on that island, it was already gone.
And then, right in the middle of all that carnage, when defeat looked absolutely certain, a new player enters the game. The tide wasn't just about to turn. Oh no, this was a full-blown tsunami.
So just how bad was it, really? In this first part, we're going to look at the absolute brink of destruction humanity was staring at, and how one single hunter showing up didn't just win a fight, it completely rewrote the rules of the war. Okay, so just to really paint a picture of how desperate things were, the best hunters in the world were either dead or dying. The only plan they had left was something called Plan 9, which was basically a last-ditch effort to nuke the entire island. They were willing to kill everyone, friend and foe, just to stop the ants from spreading. That's not a strategy, that's a surrender. And then Sung Jin-Woo shows up. He goes right up to the Ant King, the very same monster that had just killed an S-rank hunter like it was nothing, and he just dismantles it. The difference in power wasn't just big, it was comical. The unbeatable enemy was beaten in minutes. After taking care of the king, Jin-Woo actually stays behind to wipe out all the other ants still crawling all over the island. And by doing that, he hits this huge milestone in his journey. He finally reaches level 100. But believe it or not, the experience points weren't even the biggest prize he got from this fight. And that brings us to, honestly, the most game-changing moment of the entire raid. I mean, beating the Ant King was incredible, for sure. But what Jin-Woo did next, that was what created an ally with just unimaginable power. This is the moment. Jin-Woo is standing over the body of the strongest enemy he has ever faced, and he speaks that one single command, arise. And for a second, a really tense second, there's nothing, just silence. You think, oh no, maybe this one was just too powerful. Maybe the extraction failed. But then, this dark, overwhelming energy just erupts from the body. It's an aura so powerful, so immense, it makes every other soldier in his shadow army look like a toy.
This wasn't just another soldier. The system gives it a brand new title, General Rank. And this is a huge deal. See, unlike his other shadows, this one could think for itself. It could talk. It wasn't just a puppet anymore. It was a commander in his army of the dead.
And then, it speaks. And its first words, they change everything. This thing doesn't talk with anger or malice. It speaks with total reverence. It doesn't see Jin-Woo as its killer. It sees him as its new master, the one who gave it a new life. And when it asks for a name, Jin-Woo gives it one, Beru. And just like that, the most powerful shadow soldier to ever exist is born. So what happens when one guy basically saves the world? Well, Jin-Woo comes back from Jeju Island as a hero, no question. But as he's about to find out, victory, well, it can get complicated. So back on the mainland, you've got these two stories popping up. On one hand, yeah, he's a national hero. He saved Korea's last S ranks, prevented a total disaster. But then you have the other side, the critics, asking a pretty tough question. If he was this strong, why didn't he join from the start? Could some of those deaths have been prevented? The official response, though, is just pure gratitude. Chairman Go Geun-hee, the head of the Hunters Association, he just dismisses all that criticism. He knows what really happened out there, and all he sees are the lives that were saved. He promises Jin-Woo he can have anything he wants as a reward. So, with all this new power and now being famous, Jin-Woo has to figure out what's next. But it's not just the media and the public who've noticed what he can do. Something else is stirring. So instead of joining one of the big, established guilds, Jin-Woo makes a really bold move. He decides he's going to start his own. And this is a massive deal. He's not just a piece on the chessboard anymore. He's deciding to become a player who owns the whole board. And this is where things get a little ominous. While the whole world is debating whether Jin-Woo is a hero or not, these mysterious figures just appear on the now empty Jeju Island. They're definitely not human, and they felt the massive surge of power that Jin-Woo just unleashed.
One of these strange beings says this, and it's a huge piece of the puzzle. They recognize the kind of power Jin-Woo has, but they just can't understand why he's using it to help humans. This is our first real hint that there's a much bigger cosmic war going on that Jin-Woo has just walked right into.
But, those cosmic threats are going to have to wait. Because back on Earth, the gates just don't stop opening. Jin-Woo gets right back to work, and now every single thing he does sends ripples through the entire hunter community. His new reality kicks in almost right away. A B-rank red gate, which is one of those dangerous dungeons you can't escape from, pops up. The hunters who are supposed to handle it, they're stuck in traffic. So who do they call? Jin-Woo, of course. He gets official permission to go in and handle it all by himself, which just shows you he's now the world's ultimate problem solver.
And his incredible growth doesn't just benefit him, it inspires everyone around him. Take Cha Hae-In, one of Korea's strongest S-rank hunters. Jin-Woo saved her life on the island, and after seeing his power up close, she's got a new goal. She wants to get strong enough to stand next to him, not behind him.
And really, this just gets to the heart of what it means to be a hunter. It doesn't matter if you're an S-rank pushing your limits or a newbie just starting out, they all live on this knife's edge between life and death, but they never ever stop fighting. Which leaves us with this final thought. Sung Jin-Woo isn't just a hunter anymore. He's a one-man army. He's a king with legions at his command. He's gone from the world's weakest to its strongest, and now he's entering a whole new phase. The question isn't, can he win anymore? We know he can. The real question is, what's he gonna do with that power?